Meanwhile, I want to introduce you to someone that I met, what's it been, a month, 2 months ago? He's the head of Plumstead Christian School. His name's Patrick Fitzpatrick. He joins us now on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Pat, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Easily one of the greatest names ever, Patrick Fitzpatrick.
Thank you.
Were your parents, did they have a sense of humor? Is that what that was?
Well, yeah, the story is a little convoluted, but my mom always said that she agreed to the name when she was in labor.
Now, I met you, I guess I didn't meet you because you were the big dog that night. President George W. Bush comes to town, and there you were on stage with him. That was the first time I'd really seen you in person, but that was a big night for Plumstead Christian School. That's part of what you call the Founders Forum there.
Correct. Yeah, it was a huge night, and I'm still kind of flying high because of it.
Let me back up. Plumstead Christian School and the Founders Forum, talk a little about that. I was very interested to read about Plumstead's history and, frankly, the caliber of people you bring to town for your organization is really impressive. What's it all about?
I was hired in 2010, and at that time I read some of the history of the school and found out that in the 90s the school had brought Vice President Quayle, Jerry Falwell, and a number of others, Cal Thomas, Elizabeth Elliot, the missionary and author, and then it stopped. And I thought to myself, the school hired me to get the name out and to get this best-kept secret in Bucks County out into the open. And I thought, what better way than to revitalize that speaker series? And so I threw that out, and my development director at the time said, let's get Sarah Palin. And I thought, well, I wasn't even thinking that big, actually, but I loved his vision. We went for it, and that was our first Founders Forum, and followed very quickly by this one with President Bush. So my goal with Founders Forum is not to necessarily be political every year, but really to find Christians who have made a difference, nationally recognized figures who have made a difference in their occupation. So I want it to be a little more eclectic than to be just political figures, but it turned out that we couldn't turn down either of those because, kind of strike when the iron is hot, so to speak.
Hey, Plumstead Christian School, when you brought George W. Bush in, and I was there for that evening, you were on stage doing a little Q&A with him. How would you characterize his position on faith as he leaned on it, utilized it in the presidency? I thought he gave a very interesting and I thought, frankly, somewhat measured answer about that. What did you take away?
Yeah, I was inspired by it. He's a man of prayer. He made that really clear during his presidency. He got ridiculed because of it. But he saw America's freedoms and as a Christian, didn't push that on anyone. I thought that was also another real, I think.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I came away from that feeling like he was a deeply spiritual guy, but it wasn't like he hit you over the head with a billy club about it.
Right. When he spoke to just the students, I felt like one of the most inspirational things he said was, he said, I never watch TV. In the mornings, and he challenged the students not to as well. He said, except for the occasional Rangers game. He said, every morning I read my Bible. I pray. I read the newspapers. And then in the night, I read history. And that was like, I could tell all the teachers, and they were like, yes. Tell us that. But, to model that kind of discipline, especially when it comes to, cultivating spiritual life, was very inspirational.
Patrick Fitzpatrick with us. He's the head of the Plumstead School, Christian School in Bucks. And, I know we're a little tight on time. I don't want to draw you too much into this, but Could you kind of, how do I do this? What's the importance of Plumstead Christian School to you, or in your view, or its usefulness, societally speaking, versus, say, going the traditional public school route, in your view?
Sure. Our mission is to provide a caring environment where students are taught to think biblically. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that separates us from the public school, where they're not allowed to really interject biblical truth overtly, at least. So in that sense, we partner with parents to help disciple their children. And I have 5 of my own kids. 3 of them are at Plumstead, and to give them that foundation. And again, it's not, I heard one of the commercials earlier on your broadcast say the words, it's not indoctrination, it's education. We represent families from over 70 different churches. A lot of denominational differences exist within our school, so we're not indoctrinating along a certain line. We are exposing the kids to the truth. We're exposing the kids to biblical concepts. We're modeling those biblical concepts as teachers and administrators. And I see the fruit of that in the alumni. 10, 15, 20, 30 years later, I've met alumni who are still really thrilled that they had that foundation at Plumstead.
Well, it's a real jewel in Bucks County, and you guys have been good enough to partner with us in the past. We hope to continue to in the future, but I really am very proud of our affiliation with you guys there.
Thank you. I appreciate, by the way, I listen to you every morning, and I appreciate all that you do.
Well, Pat, thanks. I mean it means a lot to me, really. If people want to know more about the Founders Forum, or they want to know more about Plumstead, maybe for their own kids or to get involved somehow, how do they do it?
The easiest way is just to go to our website and poke around on the website, www.pcspa.org, or just Google Plumstead Christian School. We're accepting applications for next year.
Yeah, what's your enrollment there? Do you cap enrollment, or you just take all comers?
We're careful with who we bring in the sense that we want to have people who are going to be successful at our school, and it is academically a really strong school. But having said that, we want to grow.
Yeah.
Right now we're at about 330 in enrollment, and we're looking at growing to about 450 in the next 3 to 5 years.
Great. Hey, Pat, a blessed Independence Day to you, sir. I'm glad you made time for us today.